Joe Biden's handpicked official, Gregory Jackson Jr., former deputy director at the White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention, just got caught red-handed lying about defunding the police. And Senator Josh Hawley absolutely exposed him in front of the entire country. Let's watch the full clip, and then I'll give you my thoughts at the end.
Thanks to all the witnesses for being here. Ms. Cook, I want to say thank you especially to you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for telling your story. And I'm sorry for what you and your family have had to endure. And it's powerful to have you here today. Thank you very much. I want to talk about some of these policies that have gotten to where we are today. Mr. Jackson, if I could just start with you. You were deputy director in the Biden White House for gun violence and a special assistant to the president. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You're also affiliated with the Community Justice Action Fund. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm also a survivor of gun violence.
You were their executive director. When was that, the Community Justice Action Fund?
2021 to 2023.
And you're affiliated with them now?
Yes, as executive advisor.
Okay. The Community Justice Action Fund is, do you disclose your donors?
Yes.
All of the donors are public?
Yes.
You're funded by the Tides Advocacy Group, among others?
They're a fiscal sponsor.
This is, right.
They
That would
handle
be a
our
donor.
HR.
Yeah. This is a George Soros funded group?
No.
He's one of the donors?
No.
He's a donor to the Tides Advocacy Group.
Yeah, that's our fiscal sponsor. So they handle our HR, our back office, our operations.
Great. Okay. Great. So in other words, I mean, that's
we're one of 300 organizations.
right that they run. You are a
Yes, but
subset
we
of
pay
them.
pay them to be a fiscal
Well,
sponsor.
you are a subset of that organization, which he helps to fund, right? Okay. All right. Just wanted to get a level set here. So let's just, I want to ask you about some of the policies that you've advocated because they're exactly what we see implemented in these blue cities, like defunding
Yes.
the police.
No.
Oh, indeed.
That's not- we advocate for
Wait, I
investing.
haven't asked a question yet. We'll get to. I've got a lot of questions. Believe me, and I'll give you time. So let's talk about this report that you issued when you were executive director, a policymaker's playbook. And I'll ask to enter it into the record, Mr. Chairman. Great.
Without objection.
Thank you. In this report, you advocate, and I quote now, defunding the police because the long-term goal is fundamentally to reimagine how the state serves its citizens in the project of public safety. You go on to say police departments traumatize residents through a destructive cycle of racist over-policing, and the answer is not to add any more money to police budgets. Talk to me about, I mean, why is it that denying policing to the most vulnerable communities is a solution? I know that's what the blue cities are doing, but why is that a good idea?
Well, look, I in no way stand with defunding law enforcement. I mean,
That's what your report says.
Sheriff Mike Sheridan, who taught me how to drive when I was 16 years old.
Wait. Your report, when
And,
you were executive director, said you wanted to defund the police. Do you renounce this report? Mr. Jackson, do you renounce the report that you authored as executive director? Here it is.
You're the second senator to bring up an op-ed or
This isn't an
documents from
op-ed. This
before
is
my
your
tenure.
report, a policymaker's playbook to reduce gun violence without policing communities.
Okay.
Community Justice Action Fund, copyright 2023, when you were executive director. Now you say you don't know anything about it. Now you say that you haven't heard of it, just like the Democrats who all of a sudden say, oh, we're all for the police. They've been advocating defunding them for years.
Okay, well, you can look at documents or you can look at
My
results.
question is, do you renounce this report now? You say you no longer agree with this.
And my answer is that I led the efforts to invest $42 billion in law enforcement.
You've advocated
if you wanna pull up-
defunding the police as
you want to pull-
executive director of an organization that you still lead and are affiliated with.
Never see me advocate for that directly. What you see me
So
advocate for
what is this
a
then?
comprehensive approach to reducing
Right,
violence.
the
And we've
comprehensive
recognized
approach is
that
defunding
law
the
enforcement
police,
is a
which
part
is
of
what
the
this
ecosystem
says.
the entire time.
This is so typical of what the Democrats do now. After your policies have transparently failed and led to the deaths of millions of Americans, now you say you've never heard of defunding the police. Your own report recommends it on page after page after page. Let me ask about something else you say. Here's what you say we ought to invest in. Instead of funding the police, here's what we ought to invest in. We need to invest in programs that acknowledge the need for safe space initiatives led by lesbian, gay, bisexual, two-spirit, trans, and gender nonconforming people. What's two-spirit?
Well, look, I don't know exactly. You guys are pulling some interesting quotes.
This
here.
is from your report.
If you look at the report, the focus is on investing in violence intervention, outreach workers.
What is
victim
you say that you shouldn't invest in the police, but we ought to invest in two-spirit community programs that acknowledge two-spirit
Look, we are
individuals.
not going to discriminate.
What is that?
We're not going to discriminate against any nonprofit that
What
wants
is
to
a
help us
two-spirit?
prevent violence in
What
our
is
community.
two-spirit? You say don't fund the police, but do fund programs that create safe spaces for two-spirit people. What is? I just want to know. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is.
Well, I honestly, I'm not completely awhere of the language or
You
the
wrote
spirit
the
of how that was
report?
witten. But what I'm telling you is that what is
a two-spirit individual? I mean, really, this is your policymaker's playbook. You are the witness called by the Democrats on this committee, so I assume you reflect their views.
Well,
you don't want to fund the police. You want to fund safe spaces for two-spirit individuals. What is a two-spirit person?
I feel like I'm looking at a two-faced individual because you talk about reducing
Oh, no, sir.
violence.
You're looking at somebody who's
You're also
reading you
speaking
your
out
own
against
words, and I'd like to hear an
violence
answer.
programs.
Here's the answer. The answer is you don't have any solutions. You want to invest in gobbledygook and take away money from police officers who actually keep our communities safe, and when you're called on the record, you deny it. It's all there in black and white, and your record is there in black and white, and it's a disgrace.
We reduced homicides by 31%, and as someone who's been shot and nearly killed, I take offense that you would think that
I
the
take
last
offense
13
that you
years
won't answer my
we're not
questions,
focused on
that you
reducing
deny your
violence.
own words, and that you are leading this committee astray. And frankly, sir, your policies are absurd. They're absurd.
I don't think we're getting any place, so let's,
All right, first off, this right here is the exact playbook the Democrats always use. They push some radical policy in this case, literally ripping funding from police departments, and then when crime explodes in the streets, suddenly they act like they never said any of it. They rewrite history in real time and expect everyone to just nod along. And the arrogance of it, man. You've got Hawley holding the actual report, the thing the guy's organization put its name on, and this official is still standing there with a straight face pretending like it doesn't exist. That's not just dishonesty. That's gaslighting on a whole other level. It's the political version of don't believe your lying eyes. Now, what really gets me is the motive behind this denial. These people know their policies failed. They know defunding the police turned cities into war zones. But they can't admit it because the second they do, the whole Democrat narrative collapses. So they cling to denial, and the media, surprise, surprise, lets them get away with it. And yet, here's Hawley. And this is why people like him matter. He doesn't let it slide. He doesn't play nice. He puts the report on the table and says, here's your words, explain this. That's how Republicans need to operate. No more letting Democrats escape accountability with slick talking points. The doublespeak here is just insane. On one hand, this guy says he never pushed defunding. On the other hand, the organization he led was literally publishing playbooks telling cities not to give police a dime. It's political two-facedness at its worst. And the goal is obvious. Try to sound moderate in front of voters while feeding red meat to the activist base. Then there's the whole two-spirit nonsense. I mean, think about the priorities here. Instead of funding police officers, instead of giving resources to people who actually stop crime, they want taxpayer dollars shoveled into programs no one can even define. Even the guy defending it doesn't know what it means. That's not policy. That's ideological gobbledygook dressed up as governance. And this is exactly the left's game. Replace practical, results-driven solutions with woke social experiments. It's not about making people safer. It's about ticking boxes for activists and donors like Soros. Families get left behind, crime skyrockets, but hey, the progressive elites feel good about themselves. The bigger pattern here is hard to miss. Democrats keep doing this dance. Deny, deflect, blame someone else, then quietly keep funding the same radical nonsense. It's cowardice, it's fraud. And it's deadly because while they play politics, innocent Americans pay the price with their lives in unsafe neighborhoods. What I appreciate here is that Hawley doesn't let him wiggle out. He doesn't move on politely. He forces the contradiction into the light. That's the kind of grit conservatives need more of. Drag the hypocrisy out, make them squirm, and don't stop until the American people see the truth with their own eyes. At the end of the day, this hearing is a perfect snapshot of where we're at. Republicans fighting for reality, Democrats pushing denial and woke fantasy. One side wants police in your communities, the other side wants to experiment with buzzwords and identity politics. And you saw which side actually had the fact. This is why November matters. If these people keep power, the same anti-police insanity will just keep coming back under different names. And the only firewall against it is Republicans willing to fight, like Hawley did with backbone, with evidence, and with zero tolerance for lies. Let me know your thoughts in the comments while you're down there. Hit the like button and subscribe. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.